Hi everyone, it's Kino here. I'm sharing this class with you from Norway, which is one of my favorite places in the world. This class will go over yoga for pain relief, and we'll be focusing on pain that's in the hips and around the lower back. And this is an area where many of us store tension. So let's get started in a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. Let's bring the hands together. A long, deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands down to any comfortable position. Bring breath, body, and mind into alignment and focus. And just gently say hello to the hips. Say hello to any sensations or feelings you might have. Any awareness, pain, pleasure, any sensation. And just for a moment, create a relationship of kindness, compassion, and friendship between you and your hips. Then a long, deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's softly open the eyes. We are ready to begin. We're going to rotate the tailbone a little bit under, fold the legs, fold the feet right into each other and let the legs drape away. So we start off in Baddha Konasana. You're going to hold onto your feet and we're going to do some little knee elevations. We can just kind of lift the knees up and down, maybe feeling like you're butterflying the legs. And we'll do that a few more times just to get some sensation. Notice what you feel, if there's any pain or discomfort, and then we'll pause. Then I'd like you to rotate the tailbone under. Allow the spine to release, and then inhale. Let's come to a neutral spine, which will feel like you're actively trying to lift up out of the pelvis. We'll hold that for 5 breaths. Let the chin drape gently down and gaze at the nose tip. Very good. Feel the breath lifting the spine away from the pelvis, and notice where you're tensing the hips and where you're tensing the body. And see if it's possible to just release a little bit of that tension, let a little bit go, let a little more softness, a little more ease and flow come in. There's tension in the feet. See if you could wiggle the toes and release that. There's tension in the hips. Give yourself a little sway and see if you can release that. Good. Let's do one more breath. And then exhale, let's open the eyes. Good. Now we're going to roll over onto the hands and knees. So coming over onto the hands and knees, we're going to do some rolls through the hips. I want you to just roll side to side at first. Good. Kind of feeling what the hip wants to do. Keep your navel in. Nice. Now let's go in little circles. So you're going to roll through the pelvis, involve the shoulders, so we close the hip as we roll it back, side, open the hip, and bring it around. We'll do one more in this direction, open the hip, roll, close the hip, and now we change direction. Close the hip, roll, open, and bring it around. Open the hip, and then close it, roll through your total range of motion. Nice. And back to the center. Give it a little sway from side to side. That's good. Now, sometimes the hip can feel like it's got tension because it's closed too often. So let's take that left knee towards the center line and inhale. Your right leg reaches back. Keep it a little extended. Don't reach for like a crazy back bend, but just reach back and little up, and we'll hold that for 5. Good. We stay looking good. We got 3. Keep the navel in, so support from the front body, and reach so you get that extended feeling. 4 and 5. Let's set it down. Bring the right knee a little into the center and extend the left. Good. And we hold. Get it nice and stable. It's looking good. The navel is in. We got 1, 2. Good. Keep reaching back. 3, That's good. 4, we're almost there. Give me a big reach, not too much back bend, more extension, more little up and more back. 5. Exhale, we set it down. All right, that's good. Let's curl the toes under. We're gonna lift on up to downward facing dog. Say hello to our downward dog. Nice. Maybe give your downward dog a little sway for today. Good. All right. Switch your gaze forward. We're going to do pigeon pose. Slide the right knee forward. You can take a closed knee pigeon. So if this knee is a little sensitive on the right side, we want to close the knee. Otherwise, we can open a little bit. And then before we move into pigeon, I want to let you rock your pigeon. So you kind of roll over to one side. We're just going to rock it back and forth. All right? Let's do one more. We're going to roll through the hip. Nice. Back to the center. Closed knee or open knee. You decide. Scoot the left hip a little back. And then exhale. Come on down. And you can figure out where it's right for you. If your body needs a little support, you can take a block underneath your right hip to elevate the pelvis. We'll stay for 5 breaths. 1, deep breath in, deep breath out. 2, the mind is calm. 3, 4, feel the breath, feel what you feel. Where's the sensation? Good. Let's do one more and see if you can just release, release, release. Very good. Inhale, let's lift the head up. We can come down onto the elbows. We can come lightly up. And I want you to lean over into the right hip and bend the left knee. Just kind of hang out here for a moment as you lift your torso up. And we'll again just kind of roll through the hips. You press it forward, pull it back. And press it forward, pull it back. We'll do one more. Press it forward, pull it back. Good job. Now we're going to fold the left knee under, close the right knee, come on back to your hands and knees, and then inhale up to downward facing dog. And you're going to do it on the other side, so we're going to switch the gaze forward, slide that left knee forward, and now you make that decision. Does the knee stay closed, or does the knee come on open? Remember what we did to get into pigeon. We're going to rock. Rock over to one side, bring it back in, all the way around, so we just get that rocking feeling. We're kind of just speaking nicely to the hips. Good. Then let's come on back down, find your position, and exhale, find the way down. Good. Stay here for 5 breaths and notice any difference between one side and the other. Good, deep breaths. Mind is calm. Keep a little activation in the pelvic floor and in your transverse abdominals. So the navel kind of lifts inwards towards the spinal axis. Very good. Do about 3 more breaths. Let's do the last breath. Good. Inhale, we'll lift the chest lightly up and come on forward. We're going to pivot over and bend the right knee. And this is where we're going to work the hips. You can lean a little back, push it a little forward. Lean a little back and in, push it a little forward and down. A little bit back and in, forward and down. Kind of falling off the platform here. Lean it back and in and forward and down. We'll do one more. Bring it back and in, forward and down. All right, now we're gonna swing that right knee forward. Walk the hips a little bit in, keep the feet hips width apart, and I'd like you to come down to constructive rest. All right, so when we're in constructive rest, the next thing I want you to do, bring both knees over to one side, and then just stay there for a moment. And bring both knees over to the other side. Stay there for a moment. Good. And back to the center. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Notice how the hips feel here. Roll over onto the side. And we'll come all the way back up to seated. Good. Close your eyes now. Feel all that you feel. Was there any communication that you got from your hips today? What do they need? What do the hips need in order to heal? Do they need space? Do they need flexibility? Do they need strength? Or maybe they just need rest and a little care and comfort. Whatever the path is that leads you into healing, may you find that and step onto the path of healing, the path of awakening, and the path of love. Let's bring your hands together. A long, deep breath in. As you exhale, softly open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love. Namaste.